My father was the clerk of Grafton County Superior Court. That was the reason we ended up in Woodsville. That was the county seat, and as a result, I did grow up and went to school in Woodsville. It was a tremendous experience for me. I had wonderful teachers, wonderful coaches. John Bagonzi's still around. I just ran into him yesterday. He was just a legend, and he was great. So I feel very fortunate. I had some really great teachers in those days. One of the other benefits that I had by going to Woodsville, there was a scholarship that went undiscovered for years called the Bartlett Scholarship that would provide for monies for students graduating from Woodsville High School Haverhill Academy in those days who went to Dartmouth College and did not smoke cigarettes. And there were 3 of us at Dartmouth at the time, and they had so much money that they couldn't use the interest, so they would actually give us more money than was requested. So I was extremely fortunate to have been able to go to Dartmouth College for much less money than it would have cost to go to UNH.
Wow.
So that was one of the other benefits. My father...
What's the story behind that? That's really amazing.
This fellow left a sum of money by the name of Bartlett a long time ago, and those were the stipulations: graduate from Woodsville High School or Haverhill Academy, not smoke cigarettes, and be accepted at Dartmouth College.
Wow. Now is it still in...
Well, they changed it through what they call the Cypre doctrine. The probate court changed it because they weren't able to use the monies. There was just too few students, so they have changed it and broadened it. I'm not sure the exact direction that they broadened it, but so that at least they could use the interest that accumulates every year.
Wow.
So it's
well, that's interesting.
One of the side benefits.
Yeah.
But Woodsville, was a close-knit community, not a very wealthy community, but they're really good people. And even though my parents moved to Exeter when I was in college, because my father became the clerk of Superior Court in Rockingham County, Woodsville is still home to me. And I went to Boston University Law School, and when I graduated, I went to work in Manchester for a large law firm, Sheehan, Finney, Bass & Green, and was there about 4.5 years, and I was on the verge of becoming a partner, and I in my mind thought that I'm not sure this is where I want to be the rest of my life. So I began looking around and was friendly with Peter Smith and at the time Francis Moulton, so I ended up joining them in 1973 in Littleton, and haven't regretted it. The North Country is a great place to live if you can make a living, and the people are what make it really special.
Which you arrived in 1973 was pretty different than it is today.
It was different, and yet it wasn't different. The interesting thing is that even though the greater population has grown, the population of Littleton at the time was about 5,000, and I suspect it's about 5,500 now. So Littleton itself hasn't changed, but obviously with what's happened with the development on Meadow Street, it has changed dramatically. And my former partner Tim Vaughn used to say when he first came to town there was one stoplight. I think when I came there were none, and now there probably are, I don't know, 7 or 8. So that's changed. But and I think it's great that some of the young people who have graduated from schools in this area have found a way to come back. My son-in-law, who grew up in Lisbon, works for a company out of Boston called Go-To Communications, and he works out of his home in Sugar Hill and goes to Boston 1 day a week because he telecommutes, and I think I'm seeing more of that. A lot of young people are choosing to come back here and raise families because it's a wonderful place to raise kids.